Oh, snap. Are you serious? Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Property TV Market Watch. So glad you could join us here. You can see we have a special gift today. His name is Coco. He's the newest member of the family and it's a cute little cockapoo that the wife and I brought home last week. He's definitely been keeping us very busy for the last week, but we love him so much, so it's worth it. Say hi to everybody. So the numbers for February came out last week and oh snap, here we go again. The numbers are nuts. What's not nuts is if you smash that like button so you can see more of Coco and make sure to subscribe to PPPO channel as we keep you updated as to what's likely going to be a record year in 2020 and you may even see a little bit more of Coco. Okay buddy, I want to put you down so we can say hi everyone with the market staff. Okay, so the numbers are out for February 2020 and oh boy, yeah, they're crazy. So the numbers we'll be hearing are about 7,200 transactions, up 45.6%. Average prices of about $910,000, up 16.7%. And about 10,000 listings, up 8%. So the clear elephant in the room is average price. Are you serious? Really? Let me put this into context for you. And why 910,000 in February is absolutely insane. I made the prediction a few months ago knowing that the prices were going to increase regardless because of the fundamentals in the Toronto real estate market. I said that we're going to have 1 month in 2020 where the max peak month we're going to see over $900,000. And to see it in February already is ridiculous, ludicrous. Let me show you the numbers as to why this is crazy. So in January, the average price was about $840,000, which means in the span of 1 month, we got 8.45% increase in prices, which is what you would get in a healthy year into the Toronto real estate market. Now you may think that's crazy because if you annualize an 8.5%, it means that by the end of the year, prices are going to double. That's 100%. However, this spike will stop and it will stabilize again. And you know what? If I tell you one thing, I bet you'll be really shocked. This is not the first time this has happened from a month-to-month basis. What if I told you that this is actually only the third highest month-to-month increase, meaning that we're 2 more months that are higher in a month-to-month increase than the month that just happened. Have a look at the chart right here. Bet you didn't see that one coming. I would anecdotally see the prices go up usually around February because there's always a sudden interest in purchasing real estate because of pent-up demand. This is basically what happened in the chart you can see here in the years from 2017 and if you look at 2016. Crazy, right? But it has happened because of the pent-up demand. Now, if we look at the micro markets over here on a month-to-month basis, you can see that the largest increase was in Toronto. And that's why I keep telling everyone, invest in Toronto. It's why I'm doubling down in Toronto personally myself because so much money is coming, whether it's international money, exchange money, there's tons of money is coming into the downtown core. The prices will continue this way because of what I've been preaching. The affordable properties in Toronto are the highest in demand because all the new people that want to buy, they want to be in the core and they can afford up to about $800,000-900,000. And that's where I think the prices will peak for a 1-bedroom in the next few years. Now, what else I want to address is that you can clearly see that semis went up 20% from a month-to-month basis. Now, semis have been really hot in the Toronto 416 area in the last year because that's kind of what most people want to max out at in terms of price point if they want a freehold property and not live in a condo, such as raising family or being near school for kids. This is basically going to be some point where the prices of a semi and the price of a detached are going to be so small in between that if you can afford it, it makes more sense to buy a detached. Because now that gap's the smallest ever. So I can probably see detached prices going a little bit higher in the future. But of course, that segment of the market is less affordable, which means less Torontonians are able to tap into that market. But don't get me wrong, that market is still fine. It's going hot. Another thing that's always been meeting up week to week. We always talk about how some of the crazy things we experience and see on offer night. We've heard stories of 20+ offers on properties underlisted. They sold for $200,000 over. I've been part of properties where they had 7 bully offers, all unconditional, and this thing went for 120% over asking. You can see that there are such dynamic changes in the market that it's very hard to predict as to what's going on. So the magic question is, can this continue? History here tells us that yes, it will continue, but not at this kind of precedent rate. You can't have price increases at such dramatic rate month over month. You can see that prices continue to slowly go up in the following months after the hyper ramp up that we just saw in February of 2020. And as we go into March, for all you bears out there who keep saying we're going to crash because the prices are really high, keep dreaming. We're just going to stabilize at this point, maybe minor ticks here and there. Another point I want to address regarding the prices is this ridiculous $910,000 for the market. Okay, let me tell you what this means. I'll break it out on the chart for you. you can see that 910, which is last month of February 2020, is the third highest price on a month-to-month basis, only behind March of 2017 and April of 2017, which we all know what happened, which was the famous hot market before the Fair Housing Plan kicked in and dropped everything. So we are now going to potentially see the highest average price ever next month in March 2020. Are we going to get there? Well, I did the math. All we need to see is 1% increase on a month-to-month basis, and boom, new record ever in Toronto real estate history. Over $920,000 is probably where I think. Now, the second thing we need to talk about is transactions. You know, looking at the numbers and seeing this 45% increase seems kind of crazy. But, you know, let's peel back the numbers and look at the stats and what it really means. It's not as crazy as you think it is. Here's a historic look at the transaction that happened in February in the last 10 years. And you can see that we're just a tad bit or fourth above average in terms of where we are on transactions. So nobody freak out. The market is not that crazy. The prices are crazy, but in terms of how many transactions, not that crazy. It's just February in the last 2 years have been kind of, you know, dull because 2018 was really bad and 2019 was just before it started picking up. So what I would say is now we're going back to the norm, you know, a hot market norm per se, kind of in between there. And now for the months of inventory, which I always like to keep a tab on because it shows how much activity is going on based on listings. And you can see that with the exception of November and December on the chart over here, that we're slowly getting lower and lower on the months of inventory. This indicates that the demand has far surpassed the supply that we normally get in a good month to month. And I really hope that there's going to be more inventory in March. But if we look at the past history of strong months of February, the months after we usually tend to see more supply. And this is usually due to the weather being warmer and a lot more surplus of listings coming out in March compared to February. But however, the numbers aren't too consistent, so I wouldn't use these trends. But however, I will just say that I pray that there are be a lot more listings because think about it. If the months of inventory is going to stay the same, it just means that we're going to have more listings, but the demand far surpasses it and we're going to stay in that kind of below 2 months of inventory mark. And that is the super strong seller's mark. And if we have a super strong seller's market, then that means that we're still going to continue seeing 20 plus offers, which I don't think is healthy. I really don't like it because it's not sustainable. As you can tell, the market is changing on a month-to-month basis. February was crazy, January was crazy, December was different, November is different. And you really need to work with an agent that really knows what's going on. I didn't even break down the neighborhood specifics in this video for you. And trust me, there's some neighborhoods of crazy outliers that we saw that I'm not even going to get into right now. So if you're looking to make a move in real estate in 2020, my contacts will be here. Make sure to reach out to us so that you do make the correct move because you never want to buy overpriced and you never want to leave money on the table when you're selling. So until next time, your move, your future. See ya. I gotta go tend to Coco. Goodbye. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Oh, you know what? This one's good too. Ooh, this one's really good. You know what? Just watch them both.